Hey there, Emma Thompson here. It's graduation day, and the campus is buzzing like a hive. Cameras click, families shout names across the quad, and tassels brush cheeks as people lean in for hugs. I'm standing in the middle of it all in my cap and gown, fingers tucked under the edge of my mortarboard to keep it straight. I should be floating from pride. 4 years of late nights, part-time shifts, papers turned in early, exams aced, scholarships renewed. I earned this. I built this. But instead of soaking it all in, I keep catching my twin sister Olivia in my peripheral vision. As always, soaking up sunlight that somehow skips me. Oh, Olivia, you look absolutely stunning. My mom, Linda, gushes, fussing with Liv's already perfect curls like the cameras are here just for her. That hair, that skin. You're glowing. I half laugh, half sigh and mutter, "Thanks, Mom. I'm right here too." My dad, Robert, claps me lightly between the shoulders. "Good job, kiddo," he says, then turns toward Olivia again, voice swelling with excitement. "Your sister's valedictorian speech is going to knock everyone out." Just wait. Valedictorian speech. I bite my tongue so hard I taste metal. I'm graduating summa cum laude. Olivia barely limped through with a C average. But whatever story makes sense to them, that's the one they pick every time. "Congrats, Em," my best friend Jake says, sliding in at my elbow and saving me from myself. "You crushed it. All 4 years. I'm serious." "Thanks," I say, and my chest loosens a fraction. Someone sees me. He always does. We line up for the ceremony, the sun warm on my shoulders. As I adjust my sash, I catch my parents whispering behind me. "Do you think she'll like the surprise?" Mom asks, her voice sparkling with secret joy. Dad chuckles under his breath. "Are you kidding? It's going to knock her socks off." My ears perk. "What surprise?" I ask, turning slightly. They exchange one of their practiced looks. "Nothing for you to worry about, Emma," Mom says lightly, as if I asked about the weather. "Just focus on your big day," I try. But a stinging little thought keeps tapping at me. Why does a surprise sound like it's already been assigned? The ceremony is a blur of names and clapping and sunshine. My name is called, my feet move forward, my diploma lands in my hand, and the applause swells. I smile for the cameras like I'm supposed to. Between flashes, I glance at Olivia's seat and catch her scrolling through her phone, already planning the after-party in her head. When the speeches end, I exhale a breath I didn't know I was holding. We gather for family photos. Olivia takes center stage like a sunflower finding the light. Mom angles her face, Dad practices his proud dad stance, and I squeeze in at the side. The instant the last photo is snapped, Olivia bounces on her toes. "Mom, Dad, can we go? Can we go now?" She chirps. I'm dying to know what the surprise is. Dad clears his throat dramatically. "Well, we were going to wait until we got home." He grins at her like Christmas lights. "But Olivia, honey, your mother and I are so proud of you. We have a little something to celebrate your amazing achievement." My stomach dips. "Amazing achievement." He hands her an envelope. She tears it open with a little squeal, then freezes, eyes widening so far I can count the flecks of gold in her irises. "Oh, my God." She gasps. "A beach house? You guys bought me a beach house." My mouth goes dry. The world goes fuzzy at the edges. Olivia shrieks, hugs our parents, jumps up and down, already babbling about pool tiles and deck chairs and weekends with the girls. Jake's hand finds my shoulder, and I barely feel it. One thought thunders inside my head. What about me? As if he can hear me, Dad turns, stretching a smile across his face like elastic. "Don't worry, Emma, we didn't forget you. Your gift is at home." The drive back is a swirl of Olivia's excited chatter about ocean views and brunches and sunset photos. I stare out the window, counting breaths, counting streetlights, counting anything that isn't the ache sitting just under my ribs. When we pull into the driveway, I see something leaning against the garage. It takes me a second to understand what I'm looking at. A bicycle, old, faded paint, rust nibbling at the chain, tires slouched with age. "Ta-da," Mom says, beaming like she's giving me keys to a spaceship. "We thought this would be perfect for you, Emma. It'll teach you the value of independence." Independence. I stare at the scuffed frame, at the torn seat, at the taped handlebar. I feel something inside me fold in on itself. 22 years of responsibility. 22 years of don't worry, I've got it. 22 years of being the helper, the fixer, the one who doesn't need anything. And this is what I get? A lesson? Olivia squeals and bolts inside with the beach house folder tucked under her arm, already calling her friends. I stand in the driveway and try to swallow a wave of heat crawling up my throat. Are you serious? I manage. Right now? Dad's face hardens, like I've proven something disappointing. Now, Emma, don't be ungrateful. This is a valuable lesson and I don't hear the rest. The buzz in my ears gets louder and louder until it's just him and his voice and this rusted thing leaning on our garage like it's supposed to mean love. I force a smile that tastes like dust. Thank you, I say, but I'm screaming inside. Later, I slip out to the backyard. The air is cooler and my hands stop shaking a little. I sit on the steps, willing the tears back. Jake finds me there like he was born with my internal map. That was messed up, he says. No preamble, no softening. He sits next to me with his knees knocking mine. I'm sorry, the words unlock me. I tell him everything. Years of being overlooked, of favoritism so obvious it burns, of being called jealous when I dared to ask for fairness. He listens without interrupting, the kind of listening that feels like a blanket. You need to confront them, he says when I run out of words. What's the point? I ask. They don't hear me. Standing up won't be about them, he says softly. It'll be about you. You deserve better than this, his words steady me. I stand. Okay, we go back inside. My parents are in the kitchen with matching proud parent faces on, going over beach house documents like a prize they earned. Can we talk? I ask. Dad looks annoyed, like I've interrupted a show. About what? I take a long breath. About how unfair this is. I worked hard. I graduated with honors, and you act like Olivia is the only one who did something today. Mom makes a sound I've heard my whole life. Oh, Emma, not this again. You've always been jealous of your sister. Jealous? I repeat, a laugh bubbling up, sharp and humorless. I'm not jealous. I'm asking to be treated equally. Dad lifts his hand, cutting me off. Your sister appreciates what she's given. Maybe if you stopped comparing... I'm not comparing, I say. I'm asking you to see me. But they don't. They never do. I feel the truth slide into place like a key turning in a lock. Nothing will change here. Not for me. I turn to leave and almost bump into Olivia's boyfriend, Chad, hovering in the hallway. He's twirling the beach house keys around one finger, eyes shining like he's just found a treasure map. Sweet gift, he says, grinning. Bet that place is worth a fortune. Something in his tone sets my teeth on edge. I slip outside for air and stop when I notice a moving truck next door. A woman about my age wobbles under the weight of a big box. Need a hand? I ask, jogging over. She looks relieved. Please. I'm Sarah. Thank you. Emma, I say, and together we wrestle the box up her walkway. In the small talk that follows, she mentions she's a journalist, always on the lookout for a good story. She adds with a wry smile, tilting her chin toward the laughter drifting out of my house. That party sounds intense. Family drama, I say. And then, to my own surprise, I tell her everything. It pours out. Graduation day, the envelope, the beach house, the bike, the years of being invisible. She listens like it matters. Wow, she says when I finish. That's a lot. Have you thought about sharing it? Sometimes putting light on something like this helps more people than you think. I shake my head. I wouldn't even know where to start. She slides a card into my palm. If you ever change your mind. Stories like yours deserve to be heard. Back in my driveway, I look at the bike leaning on the wall. Then at Sarah's card. For the first time all day, something flickers in my chest that isn't anger or sadness, hope. Maybe that old bike will take me further than anyone expects, straight out of this environment and into a life I choose for myself. 6 months roll by. They aren't easy, but they're mine. I land a job at a tech startup. The team is small and scrappy. We build late, celebrate simple, and mean it when we ask how your day was. My tiny apartment still smells faintly of fresh paint and coffee grinds. It's not much, but when I turn the key, I feel something I didn't feel before. Ownership. My phone buzzes. Jake. Hey, Em. You see Olivia's latest post? I groan. Do I want to? Probably not, but you should, he says. I open Instagram. There she is, Olivia by the beach house pool, sunglasses on, champagne up, captioned, "Just another Tuesday in paradise blessed." Unbelievable, I say. You okay? Jake asks, voice soft. Yeah, I lie. Just tired. We chat a bit longer, his jokes easing the tightness in my shoulders, then hang up. I'm going through work emails when there's a knock at my door. It's Sarah, cheeks pink from the cold, eyes bright with a kind of fierce excitement. Got a minute? She asks. I let her in. What's going on? Remember when you told me about your family? She opens her laptop on my coffee table. I looked into your parents' company. Public records, filings, vendor payments. There are discrepancies, I frown. What do you mean? She turns her screen to me. Rows of numbers, dates, transfers. Even my non-accountant brain can see the pattern. Money is moving in ways it shouldn't, she says. And a whole lot of it seems to be funding your sister's life. The beach house, the renovations, the cars. It's not all above board. It looks like embezzlement. I sit back, shocked, not surprised. Both things at once. Thank you for telling me. I'm sorry, she says softly. I thought you should know. After she leaves, I stare at the wall. My phone vibrates again. Jake, you free to talk? It's about Chad. I call him fast. What's up? I told you I'd keep an ear out, he says, tense. Buddy of mine in finance did a deep dive. That new company Chad's starting? Total scam. And rumor is, he's trying to get Olivia to invest. Big. My mind flashes to the beach house, to the way Olivia held those keys like a crown. She wouldn't be dumb enough to use the house as collateral. Right? Jake doesn't answer. He doesn't have to. I have to warn her, I say automatically. Wait, he says gently. Think about this. After everything they've done to you, I know, I say. And I do know, but she's still my sister. I pull up Olivia's number. My thumb hovers. A new notification pings. Instagram again. Olivia and Chad clinking glasses, smiles plastered on. Exciting new ventures ahead. Can't wait to share our success, power couple, near invest in your future. My hand falls. She wouldn't believe me anyway. She never has. I think about my parents stealing to fund their favorite child. I think about Chad getting ready to steal from that same child with a smile and a toast. Maybe it's time I stop trying to rescue people who cut the rope as soon as I throw it. I text Sarah instead. About that story you wanted to write. I'm ready to talk. The next few months move like a storm line. One small thing triggers a bigger thing, and then everything gathers speed. The anonymous tip to the authorities about Mom and Dad's firm sets off a chain reaction I couldn't have predicted if I tried. Now I sit in my office at the startup, phone buzzing nonstop on my desk. News alerts flash across the screen. Thompson Tech under federal investigation. CEO Robert Thompson and CFO Linda Thompson. Indicted on multiple counts of financial fraud. My hands shake. I keep scrolling. My chest feels hollow and heavy at once. Jake knocks softly and slips inside. You okay, Em? I nod. Then shake my head. Then nod again. Have you heard from Olivia? He asks. Not directly, I say. I pull up her Instagram. The latest post is not a pool day. It's a photo of a for sale sign in front of the beach house. The caption. Sometimes life doesn't go as planned. Staying strong. New beginnings. Jake lets out a low whistle. Chad's scam must have blown up. Looks like it, I say quietly. Last I heard, she was in deep. My phone buzzes again. Mom. I stare at the screen. The name blurs a little. Jake squeezes my shoulder. You don't have to answer, he says. I take a slow breath. Then I swipe. Hello? Mom's voice rushes through the speaker, wild and shaky. Emma, thank goodness. We need your help. The company is facing an audit and what, Mom? I ask, voice steady. You want me to lie for you? No. No, of course not, she says quickly. We're sorry, Emma, for everything. If you help us through this, we promise things will be different. We'll treat you and Olivia equally. We swear, I laugh. There's no humor in it. Now you want to treat us equally when you're facing jail? Emma, please, she whispers, voice breaking. We're your parents? No, Mom, you made your choices and now you have to live with them. Goodbye. I hang up, my hand shaking. Jake puts a comforting hand on my shoulder. You did the right thing. And weeks pass. The news is full of my parents' trial there. Eventually charged with multiple financial crimes, their reputation in tatters through it. I throw myself into my work. My bosses notice, and Simon offered a promotion with my new salary. I start looking at houses, not beach houses, but solid, modest homes. I can call my own on moving day. Jake and Sarah are there helping me unpack as we sit on boxes eating pizza and laughing. I realize something profound. These two, my best friend and the neighbor, who became so much more, they are my real family now. Later, as I get ready for bed, I catch my reflection in the mirror for the first time in years. I really look at myself. I see strength. I see resilience. I see a woman who finally understands that true independence and self-worth don't come from other people's approval or material possessions. They come from within. Ismail at my reflection, feeling a sense of peace wash over me. Tomorrow's a new day full of possibilities, and for the first time in my life, I'm truly excited to see where my path will lead. The story has come to an end, but I have a question for you. If you were in my shoes, would you have warned Olivia about Chad's scammer? Let her face the consequences of her choices. Was I right to let her learn the hard way, or should family loyalty come first? No matter what, share your thoughts in the comments below.